Alright. In this video we'll be talking about balancing game and hustle and the whole lifestyle thing. Let me make sure I'm in focus here. That's right. By the way, FYI, if you've ever wondered why Casey Neistat is wearing shades while he's shooting videos, why? Because he's constantly looking up at the screen to make sure he looks good and he doesn't want people to know. I'm focusing on looking into the camera, okay? So let's keep it short here, right? Kaizen approach, if you remember that, Kaizen approach. Let's keep things simple and implementable. So right off the bat, I want to talk about the mindset. Many people say it's difficult for me handling the job and it's difficult there and then I'm supposed to be fun and lighthearted there. Well, it starts with the mindset. If you come to the mindset of, well, it's hard to switch and then do this and then do that, it's gonna be bad. What are you setting yourself up for? You're setting yourself up for failure. However, let's have a mindset that helps us setting ourselves up for winning, right? So here's what I do. Game is a reward for hustle. Hustle is a reward for a game. They don't cancel each other out. No, they complete each other, all right? They're intertwining each other. That's the beautiful thing. So I'm just kind of looking at my notes here to make sure I'm not missing any important point. Here's the thing. When you're out gaming at night, when you're on a date, when you're doing day game, you can be dumb, you can be immature, you can just let go, you can be free pretty much, right? You gotta be aware of a little bit of calibration, but overall you can say whatever the fuck you want. Now when you're grinding, when you're at school, when you're leading your business, when you're at your job, you can full on, you can be a fucking shark, you can be a fucking go-getter, you can love the structure, you can just full on nerd out on structure and numbers and being a fucking shark. Isn't that amazing? You can adhere to both sides. Instead of saying, well, I can't be immature and dumb at the job, say like, well, great, I have this other thing where it's even encouraged to be dumb and immature. And while you're gaming, you can say, well, I wish I had more structure and I could just be more hustle. Yeah, well, save that for the job. Isn't that amazing? You can adhere to both sides. And again, they don't cancel each other out. Instead, they build upon each other. Understand that you need both in your life. You need to be go-getter. You need to have structure. But at the same time, you want to be able to be witty on the spot and spontaneous and dumb and free-flowing, right? Adhere to both sides and you'll be very happy. You will reach a perfect, wonderful balance. Let's look at the next point here. Here's what I do, and this kind of feeds into my morning routine, etc. First, when I wake up in the morning, first, I make money, right? I take care of my body, of my finances, and my mind. I'm grinding it out. I'm reaching my goals. I'm making sure that I live financially free, right? Or I'm making sure that I'm graduating school, university, making sure that I'm getting hired into a better position at my job, whatever the fuck it is. I'm working on my fucking finances here because it's important. I want to be able to be free, right? So I'm working on that. Also, I'm at the gym. I'm making sure I'm fucking killing it. I'm breathing. I'm building my muscles, right? Whatever the fuck it is. And I'm also continuously building my mind. I'm focusing. I'm concentrating. I'm training positivity. I'm meditating, right? I do all this. Sometimes I meditate at night as well. Look at the sleep video if you want to do that. I do all these things. And then I reward myself with game, with a date, with a day game session, night game session, whatever the fuck it is. I reward myself for that. Okay, now it's time for the hustle, and now it's time for the game. And vice versa. This is super fucking key. Again, reward yourself with the beautiful female energy that you let yourself bathe in when you're hanging out with a girl and when you're trying to pick up a girl, right? Reward yourself, rejuvenate yourself by being a retard and talking about pooping and Star Wars at the game, at the date. Because you can't do that at your job, you gotta be grinding. Reward yourself for that thing. And at the same thing, when you're out there, it's chaos, it's night, you're like a little bit out of control, you're picking up girls and there's a lot of bullshit going on. Reward yourself the next day for you being a retard and going for what you want with some structure, with some nice little job where you can be, you know, a little bit more focused on numbers or whatever the fuck it is. Reward yourself for each and the other thing. That means practically the following thing. Designate times for each. Okay? Designate times for each on one hand, while at the same time be open to switch out of it quickly. So that means for me, when I'm grinding here, when I'm doing my morning routine, I'm not gonna be on DMs real quick. Let me just reply. Let me just reply to one of these fucking Tinder messages that I have here real quick. I don't do that. Now it's time for hustle. Now it's time for Tinder and DMs. For Tinder and Instagram and text game, I usually designate every 2 hours to reply to all the chicks at the same time. That also helps me be a little bit in game mode. When I'm replying to the first one, haha, I'm laughing about it, so I'm better with the next one, and I'm better with the third, fourth text, and so on and so forth, right? So I can designate every 2 hours, I reply to all the messages. And then I get back to the hustle. And then another every 2 hours, I reply to all the messages. An exception there is if you want to schedule a date with a girl either that day or the next day, you might have to reply a little more frequently. But overall there as well, the more you train yourself to snap in and out, the easier. That snapping in and out is a muscle like no other muscle, like any other muscle, right? Like any other muscle. Many guys say it's difficult for me to switch between, you know, engineers and doing all these tasks and game. Yeah, but it's a muscle like anything else. If you train that, you'll be at a level like I'm, or the coaches are right now. We're just like grinding. Oh, there's this chick I need to meet later. Oh, she's giving me a shit test. Here's shit test passed. Boom. She's gonna meet me later. Boom. Back to grinding. You can switch in and out of that very, very quickly. You have to train yourself to do that, and that's totally fine. That's the same, by the way, when you're listening to an audiobook, you're full on in the grind, you're walking down the street and you see a hot girl. Do allow yourself to snap out of it real quick. You might take 2 or 3 more minutes again to snap back into the hustle, but at least you're not missing the chance with the hot girl. And again, you can train yourself to snap in and out of it very, very quickly. I can literally snap in and out of it within 30 fucking seconds. And that way I get the best of both worlds, right? And again, I reward myself for the hustle with girls. I reward myself with for the girls with the fucking hustle. Always see it from that mindset of rewarding yourself to do that, understand? Let me look at the notes here real quick. Okay, and again, yeah, look forward to both times of the day. There's designated times for each and every one of them. Give yourself the permission to snap in and out if you can. Train yourself to do that. And also, when you're leaving the office, when you're leaving the study session, leave that behind. This is so key. When you're out there, when it's supposed to be night game, and when you're gaming the chick, I don't want you to think about the last poker hands you've been playing in case you're a poker player. I don't want you to think about the exam. I don't want you to think about the problems in your team. This is game time, okay? You gotta train yourself. Once you close that laptop, it's gone. Once you leave the office and you close the door, all the work stuff is in there, okay? And same for a game. When you're fucking supposed to grind and lead a team, I don't want you to think about the last flake. I don't want you to think about the rejection. Leave that at the fucking door. You gotta make clear boundaries when it's supposed to be that one session. Okay, I know it sounds a little contradictory when I say, okay, but also when you walk down the street, you wanna be able to open quickly. Train that muscle to snap in and out of it. But even there, once you talk to the hottie, don't think about the job. Let it go. It's a muscle like anything else. That muscle of snapping in and out is the same as the muscle of leaving the stuff at the office, leaving the game at the clubs. You can train yourself to do that. It's definitely possible. And top that up with the mindset of rewarding yourself for one with the other. Hope that makes sense. This is how you balance game and lifestyle. Hope you liked it. See you in the next video where we'll be talking about retention. How to have the girl come again.